It was 1943. World War II was raging across the oceans, and the U.S. Navy was desperate for an edge. German submarines were tearing through American ships in the Atlantic, and rumors were spreading that the Navy was testing something unusual. In a quiet dockyard at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, sailors whispered about a secret experiment, a ship that could become invisible. The project was officially called Project Rainbow, but to those who were there, it became something far more terrifying. They say it began with an idea, a theory proposed by none other than Albert Einstein. His unfinished, unified field theory suggested that electromagnetism and gravity could be merged, that if controlled, the very fabric of space and time could be bent. The Navy's scientists wanted to apply that idea to war. What if a ship could be cloaked, not by camouflage, but by bending light, magnetism, and even time itself around it? It sounded impossible, but they tried. In October 1943, the USS Eldridge, a newly built destroyer escort, was docked in Philadelphia. Heavy cables connected it to massive generators on shore. The crew was told it was an experiment in magnetic fields, harmless. Witnesses say the air began to shimmer around the ship. A green haze, like static electricity, spread across the water. The metal hull began to glow, and then it vanished. Not cloaked, not hidden. Gone. For a few moments, or minutes, the ship simply wasn't there. Miles away, in Norfolk, Virginia, sailors swore they saw the same ship suddenly appear, for just an instant, before fading again into thin air. And when it reappeared in Philadelphia, the deck was silent. Some men were missing. Others were fused into the steel of the ship, their bodies half melted into the bulkhead as if matter itself had shifted. The survivors were said to have gone mad, unable to tell where they'd been or how long they'd been gone. The experiment was quickly classified. Every witness silenced. The official records, of course, deny everything. The Navy insists no such experiment ever took place. They say the USS Eldridge was never even in Philadelphia that day. They blame it all on rumors, misremembered stories, and confusion from wartime secrecy. But then came the letters. In the 1950s, a man named Carl Allen, who claimed to have served on a nearby merchant ship, sent letters to a researcher named Morris Jessup. Allen described what he had seen: the ship's disappearance, the glowing light, the men trapped in the metal. He even claimed to have seen the ship teleport from Philadelphia to Norfolk and back again. Jessup was intrigued. He began investigating. Months later, he was found dead. His car filled with exhaust fumes, but many believe he knew too much. After his death, a mysterious annotated copy of Jessup's book on UFOs surfaced. The margins were filled with handwriting from 3 unknown sources describing advanced alien technology, space travel, and something called electromagnetic cloaking. It seemed to confirm everything Carl Allen had written. The Navy confiscated that copy, studied it, and then locked it away. To this day, it's known as the Varro edition. So what really happened to the USS Eldridge? Some say it was just a small-scale test of electromagnetic degaussing, a method used to make ships less visible to radar or magnetic mines. Others believe the experiment went far beyond that the Navy tapped into forces they couldn't understand. Even more chilling are the testimonies of surviving sailors. In later years, they spoke of strange side effects, of men who could walk through walls, and of those who would suddenly vanish, for seconds or minutes at a time, and reappear in shock, screaming, "I was there again!" And then, there's the light, the same eerie green haze, seen by naval workers during later radar tests, described again by unrelated witnesses decades apart. Coincidence? Or residual traces of something far greater and far more dangerous than radar? In recent years, declassified documents have revealed that the Navy did run experiments involving electromagnetic fields and invisibility research, but officially only on a theoretical level. Still, too many witnesses, too many details, too much fear surround this story for it to simply be dismissed. Was it an early test of stealth technology? A classified teleportation attempt gone wrong? Or contact, accidental or intentional, with forces beyond our understanding? If the story is true, the Philadelphia experiment was never about invisibility at all. It was about control over space and time, a weapon beyond imagination, one capable of folding reality itself. And if that's what really happened, then the question isn't whether the experiment succeeded. The question is, did they stop? There are reports, unconfirmed but persistent, that similar research continued long after the war, moving underground, hidden within the defense industry and advanced propulsion labs. Names like Project Montauk began to appear, rumors of psychological manipulation, time travel, and dimensional portals, each one tracing its roots back to Philadelphia, 1943. Maybe the USS Eldridge was just the beginning. Maybe it was the first time humanity tore a hole in the fabric of reality and glimpsed what lay beyond. Whatever happened that day, the truth remains sealed. Every official record, classified. Every eyewitness account, dismissed. But sometimes the silence around a story tells you everything you need to know. Maybe the ship didn't just disappear from space. Maybe it disappeared from history. And somewhere in the dark corners of the Navy's archives, the echoes of the experiment still hum, a low, electromagnetic whisper that refuses to die. To uncover more mysteries, you're watching HushAtlas.